Well, hello everyone. My name is Mitchellmander, and today I'm going to be doing another impressions video, and this will be on Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 133, Bird Battle. Brave Bird versus God Bird, or Sky Attack as it's known in English. And oh boy, this was a controversial episode. There's a lot of people that are not happy with this episode and the result that happened with Ash versus Hau. Now before I get into that, I just want to say if you like my content, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'm not going to force anyone to do that, so that's just up to you. If you like my content or if you like this video, go ahead and do that. That'd be cool. I've only got about 12 subscribers as of this video, so if you want to, go ahead and do that. But anyways, let's get on to the video. So, I do like the whole dynamic with Ash versus Hau, where it's kind of like a Rowlet versus Decidueye is essentially David versus Goliath battle, and I do like that. Now, this may not be the best battle, and a lot of people have definitely been complaining about it. There are some things that I do like about it. I do like the fact that basically Brave Bird and Sky Attack are essentially Rowlet and Decidueye's trump card, since it's super effective against one another. So that's definitely cool. I like the whole dynamic there, and I do like the clash that they have with that. And it basically both get knocked out. Kind of reminds me back in Dragon Ball when Goku and Jackie Chun, or Master Roshi, knocked one another out and then had to get up. And it looked like, at this point, that Decidueye had won, and Hau was declared the winner. But then, of course, the sleeping gag moment with Rowlet shows up, and Hala intervenes and manages to keep the match going. So, yeah, that was a thing. It also reminded me of Goku sleeping, the whole Goku sleeping gags back in the 21st tournament back in Dragon Ball, and also when he fell asleep during his match with Jackie Chun. I'm definitely getting a lot of Dragon Ball vibes from this Alola League so far, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Sun and Moon. Anyways, I do like the fact that I do like the little things in this battle too, or like the little moments that they show, like Nanu basically acknowledging Ash and Hau as competent trainers. That little moment where you realize that the battle was more exciting than it was anticipating. So it's almost like he's acknowledging that both of these two trainers are competent trainers and definitely, are good battlers. I guess I should say that. Anyways, going on from that, I do like what happens after the match with Hala approaching Hau and basically comforting him for his loss and basically acknowledging him as a good trainer and doing good out there. And it was a nice moment. I also like that Toucannon was smiling, which he's always angry, so it's interesting to see him smile for once. And then we have Melton walk out, and it looks like he's calling his buddies from the Pokemon school. Probably going to get Melmetal either at the end of this league or in the next arc. It's pretty much setting it up now. So, yeah, that's Ash versus Hau, pretty much. Going on to the next part with Kiawe versus Sophocles, I do like the interaction right at the beginning of this battle. Or right before, I should say. Where Sophocles basically acknowledges that he's grown to love Pokemon battles, and it's essentially thanks to Kiawe and Ash and their constant battles that they have all the time. He's basically grown to like Pokemon battles, and he acknowledges that Kiawe is the strongest trainer in their class, the one that got the Z-Ring and Z-Crystal first, and that he wants to defeat Kiawe someday. And I like this. This is great development for Sophocles. I know a lot of people don't like Sophocles and think he's got poor development, but this was a nice moment here, and I applaud Sun and Moon for that. And then going on to Kiawe versus Sophocles, even though the battle was only a few minutes and will conclude in the next episode, it was already definitely a nice-looking battle. And it looks like Sophocles is actually giving Kiawe a solid run for his money, as him and Vikavolt perform the Z move, and essentially have Charizard and is about ready to land a KO, and that's where the episode ends on a cliffhanger. And I really like that Sun and Moon is doing this, where they're ending episodes in cliffhangers, giving more tension to the next episode. So that's a nice moment. But anyways, let's get into the things I didn't really care so much in this episode. So yeah, again, Rowlet fell asleep in the middle of their match, and it looked like Ash was eliminated. Essentially being eliminated by a gag. And that was a little bit annoying. I know a lot of people really hated this moment and called it one of the worst things in this battle. Probably one of the worst battles ever that Ash has ever had. And I completely disagree with that. But at the same time, I will acknowledge that this is a little bit annoying, and I really don't want any more gags to happen throughout the rest of this league, and I don't expect them to. But this was a more interesting battle than, of course, Ash's first battle with Faba. And the fact that I find Kiawe versus Sophocles already more interesting than Ash versus How is a bad thing. And I don't want any more gags to happen in this league. Kind of takes away from the battles in a way. I mean, I know that Sun and Moon is a gag series and there's a lot of funny moments, but at this point I really want them to focus more on the battles as opposed to Rowlet just falling asleep randomly in the middle of the battle and Ash almost losing because of a gag. That would have been probably the most insulting thing to happen to Ash, and I wouldn't have liked that at all. So yeah, that I didn't really care for. And I guess the other thing, we'll go into that. It's the elephant in the room that I haven't addressed yet is the whole ending of this battle in which Rowlet masters Feather Dance and defeats Decidueye. Now I'm kind of mixed here. I do like how Rowlet executed this, and it was really neat how he basically did the Feather Dance. It tricked Decidueye, and he came up right behind him, did Brave Bird, and that was it. And that was kind of neat, and it definitely, it made sense because at that point, Decidueye had already barely endured a Brave Bird and got up and was already weakened. And Kiawe mentioned in the episode that both Rowlet and Decidueye were basically running out of energy at this point. But at the same time, even though Rowlet almost mastered it in the last episode and was learning it, it kind of just looked at Ash and then looked over at Toucannon and basically learned it right then and there, learned how to do it. Which, of course, it felt like it was a bit plot convenient, and it felt like a Deus Ex Machina in which it just learned it at basically a time of crisis and managed to pull off a victory. And that's kind of a shonen cliche that I really didn't want to see happen here, but it happened. And it was a little bit annoying because I was hoping, like with Feather Dance, it would have mastered it and used it, or Rowlet would have used it to gradually weaken Decidueye over the course of the match, but that's not how the writers decided to do it. So yeah, that was a thing. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this was one of the worst episodes of Sun and Moon, but it was probably my least favorite episode of the league, and I'm hoping that Ash's next match is a lot better. So yeah, that's my breakdown there. I guess another thing is I kind of wish that How and Hala's interaction after the league match was a little bit longer. How doesn't really get the treatment he deserves, and I don't really like how things went for him here. So I hope that maybe this isn't the end for How, and hopefully in the next arc he has some role in it. If not, I'm going to be very disappointed with how they handle How in this league. So anyways, yeah, definitely a controversial episode, but not the worst episode of Sun and Moon. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. So hopefully next week's episode is a little bit better. It definitely looks interesting from what I'm seeing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I just wanted to let everyone know that next week I'm going to be out of town. So the impressions video for 134 is going to come probably a day or two later. Just a heads up. But anyways, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you like my content, be sure to like and subscribe. And let me know how you feel about this episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you agree with what people are saying online, that this was one of the worst episodes of Sun and Moon? Or one of the worst battles ever? And just tell me how you feel, guys. I'm always interested to hear, and I'd like a different opinion from what I have. So definitely leave your comments in the comment section down below, and I will talk to you guys next week. So, yeah, have a good day, everyone.